I think the greatest value in these movements is they get you thinking outside of the traditional box of strength training. It's not just about push-ups and squats and deadlifts. Those things are valuable in their own right, but once you've done that for a really long time, there's not too much carryover and not that much value in just putting more and more weight on the bar or getting more and more stronger in very straight up and down movements. If you want your training to carry over better to the mountains, at a certain point you're going to have to move past that and start integrating some more complex, more three-dimensional stuff. So the first move we have is the coiling horse stance. This is much more than a nice flowing movement. It's a way to generate more power from the feet and to develop some balance between the dominant and non-dominant side of your body. So we'll start in a horse stance with the feet in a very wide position, and the feet can just be turned out slightly there. Initiate the twisting movement from the belly and let the rest of the trunk and the shoulder blades follow along. At first you can just experiment with your comfort zone, how far you can twist and how deep you can go into the lunge comfortably. Keep in mind what we're doing here is just exploring those corners of the body that we don't usually get into, and we're bringing awareness to those areas. And with more awareness comes more control and the potential for us to generate more power with less effort. So the secret to this move and a lot of other moves like this is to stop trying so hard and try and feel more into the movement rather than thinking about getting it right. Okay, the next move is the Triplanar single leg deadlift. Now you may have seen just the regular version of the deadlift before that I've showed a bunch of different times on this channel and in my programs, but this one has a nice little twist to it. So in this variation, we're going to add a little bit more rotation through the midsection, and we do that via the reach. So it's useful to imagine 3 points on the ground, one directly in front of you, one slightly to the left, and one to the right. And as you hinge forward, you counterbalance your weight by lifting the leg behind you in kind of a tail. So your spine should be relatively neutral, not excessively flexed or extended as you raise and lift, but put a little tension on finishing the rep standing nice and upright. The knee of the standing leg should not be locked out straight, but rather just slightly bent. And if you find the hinge to the floor too stressful, then you can just hinge down, reaching for an object like a yoga block or a step or a bench or a water bottle or something, and then slowly build your range of motion up from there. One more note about the standing foot. It's really important here that we're focusing on distributing the weight of your body evenly through all three major points in the tripod. So that means the base of the big toe, the base of the little toe, and the base of the heel. So you really want to keep some awareness, try and keep the foot really quiet and distribute the weight evenly through those 3 points. And if you're doing so in this movement and any other single leg moves, you're going to be doing the best thing you can for your foot, for the structure of the bones, and helping to distribute your center of mass evenly directly over your base of support. One other great thing about this movement is that it can be done contralaterally using the opposite leg in the arm, or ipsilaterally using the same leg and the same arm. This helps the brain develop old neural pathways that may have been forgotten, so the result is that the body is more intelligent in a wider range of motion. And with practice, you will get better, and you will also get better at learning many other things when you start to move ipsilaterally and contralaterally, and adding a lot more variety in the way that you move. Now the final thing I have to mention as I'm editing this video is that of course you're going to fall over a little bit, just like I am here. But think about it like this: every time you are getting a little bit off balance, your brain is starting to understand that motion and that movement better. So every time you are falling, you are learning. Please keep that in mind. Okay, third and final move for this routine is the lizard push-up. Lizard push-up is a great upper body movement for all levels thanks to its ease of regression and progression, but also because we're integrating the skull, the rib cage, and the pelvis all together whilst pushing in this movement. At the easiest level, we can place the knee on the ground and use both hands to press. You can increase the intensity by arching the hand of the non-working side to distribute more weight into the harder working side. So you could start with a little bit of a spider position like this, then you could go down to 3 fingers and 2 fingers, or 1 finger if you need to, and then you can put the hand behind the back and go into the single hand variation for, I guess, the hardest one. So lifting the knee here will naturally be more difficult for most, and obviously removing that supportive hand from the equation will also increase the difficulty. And again, aim to do this movement and all movements with as little effort as possible, and just work within a comfortable range of motion. Lastly, when performing this movement, don't allow the majority of your weight to fall into your hands. Think about distributing your weight evenly between all contact points, whether it's 3 on the harder progression or 4 on the easier progression with your knee on the ground. So they are my 3 main movements that you can put together in this coiling rotational little mini minimalist workout. If you want to see the full version of this workout that I put together for my programs, I'll leave the link in the description. This is now part of Momentum, and Momentum just got a huge big update. We have changed it from being like a big library of follow along videos to now it's more structured, and we have 3 different schedules for you to follow. If you're not sure which schedule is going to be best for you, then you can fill out the form that we have on our website, and that will tell you which kind of archetype or which box you fit into, and then you can start from there and build up through those schedules. So if you want to check out that, the link is in the description. But that is all for this video. Stay happy, keep moving. I'll see you on the summit.